Hello, my name is Steve Wu. I'm chair of the American Bar Association, section of Science and Technology Law. Welcome. Today I'm with Matthew Henshon, who is co-chair of the Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Committee within the section. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Steve.
So my first question is, what is artificial intelligence and robotics, and how do legal issues arise in this area?
Well, artificial intelligence and robotics is the study of robots and computers that act like humans, and the decisions that they make and how they will affect humans. So for our sake, we have robots moving around either in the air, drones flying by themselves. You'll see cars, self-automated cars, self-driven cars, and you'll see industrial robots, all of which will come into contact with humans, will make decisions, and our committee is charged with studying that law.
What are some of the examples of legal issues that arise in the area of artificial intelligence and robotics?
Okay, so for instance, if a self-driven car collides with another human-driven car, who's responsible for that? When you have a drone that's flying up over Pakistan or Afghanistan and shoots down, there's a law of wars. Who's responsible for ensuring that the laws of war are being followed? And in artificial intelligence, you have, again, computers making decisions, like for instance around Wall Street and high-frequency trading, and when mistakes get made or when things go wrong, who's responsible for that? Those are all examples of the law around robotics and artificial intelligence.
I guess in the popular media, people have a conception of robots, but some of the cases that we're talking about might be something more like a products liability case, or even questions of contract formation when software agents act on behalf of somebody on the internet.
Right. Anytime you have a program, a machine that's been set in motion but is going to make decisions autonomously or by itself, you don't know, the law is not clear as far as who's responsible. We can look at product liability laws, say the maker should do it, but what if somebody is playing with the program, or not even maliciously, what if they're just introducing facts to the program that turn out to be wrong, and the computer or the robot makes decisions based on that? Who's responsible in that case? Those are all areas that really are uncharted right now.
So tell me, what is the mission of your committee, and what are some of the things that it is planning to do?
Well, our mission is to help inform lawyers, law students, lawyers, judges, other policymakers around the legal issues about what we're just talking about. What the trade-offs are, what happens how the existing law would look at the problem, and how perhaps we should try to solve it in the future. And so when you get involved in the committee, you can be part of that process, part of thinking about those policy issues and thinking about where the law should go.
Can you please give me some examples of some of the projects that your committee has done in the past?
In the past, we've written several articles about the law around, for instance, self-driven cars, and how one might, a judge, if there was a self-driven car that collided with another, a judge might look back at cases involving, for instance, autopilots on airplanes or ships to determine liability as far as who's in charge and who's responsible. We've also gotten some of our committee members, especially younger committee members, involved in writing articles on, with the new Obama administration last year, how they were thinking about, for instance, drones and the use of drones. And obviously we've seen continued use of drones over the war areas in Afghanistan and Pakistan, continuing the previous administration's position, but there's legal issues around that. So we've tried to both at the committee level, incorporate and think about the new issues coming up, and get a lot of our committee members involved.
You had mentioned to me before our filming that you had plans to get involved in Robotics Week. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What are you planning
Sure.
to do?
So every April, this is now the second April, this will be the second Robotics Week, April 2011, and it's going to be a nationwide outreach and demonstration of the power of robotics and different ways that people are using robotics, and the different ways that people will continue to use robotics going forward. It's going to be a nationwide effort. You'll see events and seminars in Boston, in Pittsburgh, in the West Coast, in San Francisco, and so we're going to try and tag along and even though it's not driven by the ABA, but we're going to be part of it in the sense of getting our lawyers and our committee members involved in those efforts.
So if I'm a new lawyer interested in getting involved with the work of your committee, what are the kinds of things that I could do to participate?
Well, we're always looking for people to get involved. There are a lot of cases actually going out, being decided and being reported that are not quote-unquote robotics cases, but which involve robots or which tangentially involve the use of robots. And we're trying to track those and keep a comprehensive list so that as more and more cases can come up, we can fit them into a paradigm. That's one area. Another area is obviously writing on issues as they come up. And we're also looking for people to get involved in seminars and other things, other ways to get people out on leadership in this new area.
You've mentioned this possibility of participation, and it seems like getting involved in publications could raise your visibility as a lawyer in the committee. What are some of the other member benefits that I could expect out of being a member of your committee?
Well, obviously, you know, if you're writing something, somebody's reading it. So we try to get these letters and newsletters out to people. We try to, we're very active in some of the Science and Technologies Committee's publications like SciTech Lawyer. And then we also try to make sure that people know developments that are happening which are not necessarily legal, but which are in the popular news, which you'll see a lot of articles about many of these issues, the cars that are self-driven, the drones, all those sorts of things, Wall Street, high-frequency trading, all those issues are in the popular media, and that shapes how judges eventually and other policymakers will be thinking about these same issues when they become law or legal issues.
Having heard all that, I'm wondering if this all sounds interesting to me as a lawyer, how could I get work in this area? For example, how could I get a job, or how could I find clients in this area?
Well, like any new area, it's a challenge to find particular clients, but the industry is growing in this area very rapidly. You also see, unlike some other areas of law, international competition is very sharp in this area. Japan has an extensive robotics industry that is growing and expanding rapidly, and you'll see other areas of the country, not just on the coast. For instance, Pittsburgh has a big robotics area. Many parts of the South where car companies have built plants, you'll see extensive robots, and then obviously Detroit, and then Boston and the San Francisco areas, traditional high-tech areas, are also very prevalent in the robotics field. So all those areas, there's plenty of opportunities around the country and internationally to get involved.
So with some of those companies, I think perhaps you could address working in the industry. Would that help you and get a career going in artificial intelligence and robotics in the law?
Sure. It definitely would be a leg up. A good background in science and technology, if you're still in school, or science and technology law would also help you. But it's really a field that's, because it's so new, it's going to be pretty wide open. It's going to probably be pretty wide open for the next few years. So it's a great opportunity to join a growing field, and one that's clearly going to be important going forward.
Sounds pretty compelling, Matt. I appreciate that. So having heard all that, if I'm interested in joining your committee, how could I get into your committee?
Well, I think there's a button on the page we are right now, Steve. If you click that, you can join the committee. We'll reach out to you. If you don't hear from us right away, if the committee chairs contact us, we'll get you plugged in.
And I think there's also a button that says join the section. So if you click on that, you can also join this section. If you aren't already a member, you need to be a member of the section before joining any committee. And so we welcome you as new members of the section of Science and Technology Law, and your contact information is linked on the webpage as well.
That's right. That's right.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all this great information.
Good. Thank you, and we'll hope to hear from you soon.